What do you think when you hear the word balance? Do you think of a diet? Maybe you're planning? Or do you immediately think about Werewolf Online setups? If yes, I'm going to blow your mind in this video. Hello there, today it's time to attempt to change Werewolf Online forever. This video is part of a mini-series about the future of Werewolf Online, so if you have any ideas that you want to address in this series, leave them down in the comments. The topic for this video is balance. Balance is a very important aspect of a game of Werewolf Online. Think about it. Would you like to play a setup in which there are 15 seers and 1 werewolf and you are that werewolf? Would you like to play as a solo killer against 10 werewolves and 5 villagers? I bet your answer is no, because in both cases you are pretty much doomed to lose. In case you were on the advantage team, like being Seer in the first example and being werewolf in the second example, then you might say yes, but still there's a good chance you say no because you like a little bit of a challenge. And that word, challenge, is important. Another thing that makes a game good or bad is excitement and suspense. If there's no suspense in a game, you will most likely forget about it quickly, you won't really care about losing, and with that, a win won't feel satisfying either. If everything goes easy and you never lose, or if you lose it's a chanceless loss, what is then even the point of playing a game? The word game says it all. It is supposed to be fun, not functional. Considering Werewolf Online is not an esport or something you will make money off upon winning a lot of games, easy victories won't really be that cool, because an easy game itself is not exciting, nor does it help you with anything outside of the game. You could thus say that a game needs to be exciting and suspenseful, and not easy and forgettable like a game with 12 zombies and some villagers. If you look at current setups, most setups have 10 villagers, 4 werewolves, 1 solo killer, or 1 conversion role and 1 voting role. Sometimes you see that there is 1 villager less and that's replaced by a Cupido Cursed, in which the latter one is a potential 5th werewolf, but still 9 villagers is quite a lot. As I consider myself to be an average player who can carry a village or werewolf team in Sandbox and quick game, but be in bed with especially the solo killer roles, over 60% of the games are won by the village, around 25% by the werewolves, and the remaining 15% are wins by any solo role, couples, or end up as a tie. If these numbers are correct, and one more time, they are based on my personal statistics and I am a player who has played all modes for a fair amount of time, then that means that more than half the games will go to the village. Of course, these are speculated numbers and are very dependent on the players and mode. But 60% is insanely much. If you would be a villager and you would know that you're probably gonna win the game, would you then be really excited about the game? To clarify a bit per mode. Quick game has relatively many suicides, not much claim space for werewolves and AFK players. Suicides determine games usually, since losing 1 werewolf in a setup that is already so difficult for werewolves make the game very easy for the village. On the other hand, if some villagers commit self-destruction, the werewolves are likely to win. If there is no AFK players and suicides, however, quick game setups are very advantageous to villagers, and the player base also allows for an extraordinary amount of full and headhunter wins. Sandbox is more or less the same, but with less headhunter or full wins and stronger villagers that can reveal players like Loudmouth and Pacifist. Having just 1 random regular villager is not enough for werewolves to claim a village role, so here you will see many village wins. Ranked, and especially higher ranked, is arguably the most balanced mode, because here winning mostly relies on the amount of chaos that is caused by the werewolves themselves. Villagers are often quite smart, but werewolves definitely make a good chance as well if they claim roles and try to confuse the village. So ranked doesn't need much change in setups, especially because if they would need that, they would ask for change in the Werewolf Online Discord server. Ranked namely has a very strong community. But the other 2 modes, oh boy, they can use some change, especially since these are the casual leagues and games are not connected with each other, meaning they should all offer a lot of excitement. That cannot be the case if more than half of the games are village wins, and out of those games quite a lot are easy village wins. What does make games more exciting though is having a, so to speak, close call in every game. This means that a game should not have some sort of 60, 25, 15 odds, but instead have all the teams with an equal chance to win the game. This is not easy to change, because adding a solo killer won't mean that the solo killers are on the same team, especially not in the casual modes. But the first move could be made by adding more claim space in the game, so that the werewolves have a better chance to win. Also, seeing as most casual games have both an alpha werewolf and a regular werewolf in the game, why not change those into 2 other werewolves? Perhaps a bit stronger, like Berserk, Nightmare Guardian or Junior Werewolves. Those roles are way more interesting to play due to the abilities and add something to the game. Having a random werewolf in the game could also be very exciting, as long as Kitten, Alpha and regular werewolf are excluded options. Although adding a second solo killer might not be the best idea, adding a sect leader or bandit to every game might do wonders. By having a sect leader replacing a villager, you can add an extra team to the game, which makes villagers smaller and ultimately creates more chaos in the end of the game. Another recommendation is a permanent removal of the Seer from Sandbox. The Seer can take away so much fun from anyone who is not Seer. Being exposed as full does not help with making games exciting at all. Seers are more like that role that you need to have when you play the game for the very first time, because then it's a lot about learning mechanics, and if there's no Seer, new players absolutely do not know what to do if there's just an aura or no info at all, as they probably never learned about voting patterns and chat behavior. Seers are not good for balanced games though, since they cannot be simulated easily by werewolves, and as said before, they can totally make a team harmless with one press at night. So now you're probably wondering, what would be an actual good and balanced setup? Here is an idea. A game needs 8 villagers, 4 werewolves, 1 solo killer, 1 voting role and 2 other roles that add something special to the game. For the villagers, I would argue that we always have an aura seer, medium, 2 random regular villagers, 1 protective role, 2 executive roles and 1 other informative role. The random regular villagers may not be any confirmation role like pacifist and mayor, and the executive roles should be a weaker one and a stronger one. Stronger ones are marksman, gunner, jailer and forger, weaker ones are avenger, beast hunter, priest and witch. But most importantly, they need to fit well with the other roles in the game. The protective roles are either bodyguard or doctor, unless one executive role is forger, then a tough guy would probably be fine here as well. For the solo killer, it is important to exclude the serial killer, bomber and the 3 conversion roles, leaving the arsonist, cannibal and corruptor and illusionist left. The serial killer could be used however if the conversion role would not be sect leader but bandit, since bandits also have kill power at some point. The other slot is left for chaos roles. This can be either cursed, cupid or sorcerer, depending on the other roles in the game. The werewolf team would always consist of 1 random werewolf, excluding regular alpha and kitten werewolf of course, a wolf seer, a junior werewolf and a 4th werewolf that would depend on the other roles in the setup. The same goes for the voting role and for the bandit or sect leader. So here you have some setups that would be amazing to see in especially Sandbox, but perhaps with a few modifications in quick game as well. Although you might say, these setups are not balanced. The point of these setups is to break the traditional idea of balance. Sure, we need balance in game, but balance is not that more than half of the games are village wins. What matters most in casual modes that Sandbox and quick game are, is that there is way more suspense till the end of the game. Not only will that make games more memorable and joyful to play, but also it might have a good chance to reduce game throwing and unwished behavior, because the setups on themselves are chaotic and will ask the players to pay full attention if they want to stand a chance. And of course, ranked can stay as it is. If not, I'm not the person who should change it, since I don't play ranked anymore. Do you have more fun setups or other ideas that the developers should consider using? Then leave them down in the comments. Who knows, your idea will be addressed in the series. Talking about series, if you want to stay tuned and not miss the next episodes, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications. Then everything will be alright. Thanks to my members Violette, Angus, Vidishima, A and Borealis for the support. And for now, I will see you later and don't be a traitor. Goodbye.
Bye.